that the lights start to dim as well. Starter is illuminating. There's our 15%. We'll go ahead and introduce fuel to low idle, watching the ITT rise. And it is kind of cold out, so should be a low start, 720, which is good. And now let's start to wind back down. And wait for our 50%. There's our 50%. We'll go ahead and go into low, our high idle. And the starter can come to ignition. Starter comes to off. And there we go. Good start. RMIs all come on. Hey, what's going on? No sound. No sound, huh? Okay. All right. There we go. About that. Sorry. Yeah, we're starting to get everything figured out. Like I said, it is a new software that I'm trying Streamlabs instead of using OBS. So, yeah. So. Let's go ahead and go back to outside the cockpit and finish up cleaning up everything. So we've got everything on. Passenger oxygen can come on, and we can go ahead and turn our EFIS on. And inertial separator comes on, and autopilot's master trim comes on, and radio master comes on as well. Things starting to boot up. Trims are all set. Cabin temperature is 54, so we'll go ahead and get that turned on. Bleed valves come on. Air conditioning comes to fan only, and fan flow is on auto. Go ahead and turn bleed to auto as well. And we are on the left fuel tank, so we are good there. We're not going to be using ATC today. We've got 2 new planes. What'd you get? Did you get there, Ghost? So we're not going to be using ATC today. We're just going to be out on our own, using our own information. So we'll go ahead and put in our continue, and database is out of date, obviously. Go ahead and continue again. And there we go. I think we got the PT-17 Stearman.
TOS, system test,
awesome.
okay.
Nice. Nice. We got to take him out and fly him yet? So go ahead and get our input in, put in our flight plan here. So we're using the TDS, so we're just going to go into map. We're going to be able to hit back. We're going to hit flight plan. And we're going to hit add waypoint. We're going to KOPF, which is Opelika. And we have our routes that I have planned for us. We're going to be adding a waypoint, and we're going to be going direct hauler. Then after hauler, we're going to go to newer. Direct to Opelika. So after move waypoint. Move, and add waypoint KOPF. And enter that. So there we go. So direct to hauler, then direct newer, then to Opelika. So I'm having a hard time doing rolls with the Stearman. I wish I could help you out, but I don't know how to do the rolls. But you can looper. All right, good. That sounds like fun. So go ahead and go into here, and we'll put in our flight plan here. So it'll be KTPA. That's our backup. Enter. And our next one is hauler. Input into here because it makes it a little easier. I use this for the vertical nav to help us get down, so we can make sure that we are down. So that's why you got to input it twice, or normally if you didn't care about that, if you're flying online where they would vector you down, then you wouldn't have to put this in here. But I always put it in here for redundancy. It makes it a little bit better, a little bit more realistic, because you would put this in real life, putting in a backup plan. So to Holler, and then we're going to go to Newer. Hopefully you got a beverage today. We got a short flight today. It's not going to be that long, so just finishing up putting this in, and then we'll be set to go. And then our last one is going to be K. Yeah, it really stinks whenever you got to put one of these in real life, and you've got to put in all these waypoints. It takes forever to put all this flight plan in. Enter. And there we go. So we got that put in there. And go ahead and clear our messages out and go back to our map. And let's go ahead and check out whatever the weather is here, see if we got it. I've been having issues with it not wanting to load on here, and it's still not wanting to load, so that's alright. We'll just go ahead and use the real world weather from ForeFlight. Kind of hard to hear. Kind of hard to hear me, or kind of hard to hear the desktop audio. Which one? And looks like 3020. So go ahead and get that put in there. 3020. And winds are 340 at 4. So we'll be wanting to use probably runway 1. Use 1 right out in front of us. I love that. So, all right, let's go ahead and get this switched over to fuel. And there's our fuel flow. All good there. And we'll go ahead and get our taxi lights turned on. And everything else looks like we're ready to go. Kind of hard to hear me. Okay, all right. Let's see what we can do about that there. Let's see what we can do. So settings, do mic. Is that any better? Can you hear me a little bit better now? Thanks for the feedback. I do appreciate that. Alright, we're going to be ready to go here in just a little bit. Perfect. Now you sound great. Perfect. That's what we like to hear. Alright, so get our seat adjusted here, and we'll go ahead and hold the brakes, and parking brake is coming off. And we'll go ahead and take a look out. This is also on Sim Update 15, the beta, so running that. We're going to go right out here to Foxtrot, which is right out here. Clear left and clear right. And there's a southwest plane. And here is, it says it's Delta, but yep, we're gonna go right out here to Delta. Taxi right on over here to runway 1 right. What are you bummed about? We don't want to hear that. Alright, and we'll go ahead and let them know that we were ready for takeoff. So 23 Delta Tango is ready for takeoff. And there we go. Oh, looks like Southwest is going to go ahead and go. He's been cleared, so we will wait for him. Have to work with my uncle. Well, that's, I guess, no fun. Watch this guy take on off here. And we'll go ahead and flip on our taxi lights and our runway heading. Runway lights. We are set to roll whenever he is done. Just be lining up and waiting. There he goes. Oh, you have to work tomorrow. Oh, yeah. Guess that could be a bummer. Alright, and we will go ahead and get on out here and line up and wait. I'd rather be home and play. Yeah, well, no joke, I would too. I would too. Just got back from a vacation myself. Went out to San Francisco and went to Napa Valley with the wife, so that was a lot of fun. Alright, since he just took off, we'll probably want to watch out for wake turbulence, so we'll be able to get off the ground faster than he did, and we'll climb out and get on out of here to the right. So everybody got your seatbelts on? Everybody good? I'm good if you're good. Alright, here we go. Advance the throttle to 100%. And maintain center line. Airspeed is alive. Oil temperature and engine temperature all look good. And there's our 85 knots. And rotate. And tap the brakes. And gear coming up. Maintain runway heading. Out for that turbulence. And go ahead and start our turn out to the right to intercept our course. And we're through 120, so flaps can come up and yaw damper can come on. So we get a good look out here at Tampa. We're still hand flying it. Thanks, at least you agree. Yes, I do agree. I'd much rather be at home messing around with the flight simulator here. As we're getting ready to fly over downtown, go ahead and set our altitude. We are going to be going up to 31,000 feet. And we'll roll out right here. And maintain this climb. Probably only go up to 26 today. Go ahead and set our pressurization. 26. Pressurization is good. back to flying the airplane. Alright, here we go. We are all set. Good look at Tampa down there. We're flying at night just because I wanted to kind of showcase what our panels look like in dimming. Sync up our heading bug here, and we'll go ahead and go into heading mode, and we're going to turn the autopilot on. Go into heading mode, and now we'll go into nav mode. And we will catch up with our nav, and we will actually go into our flight plan, and we will go direct hauler. All right, on our way up to 3,000 feet, and we will arm that. Then I'm going to do us a VS of 3,000 feet per minute, and then I will watch that airspeed start to bleed off. When we get to 140, it will put us back into IAS mode. Can't see Tampa. All right, hold on just a second, and I'll show you Tampa. And there's our 140. I'll go ahead and hit IAS mode. Right down there is Tampa. Take on off. Downtown Tampa. Ah. That might help you. Right down there is Tampa. Right behind the wing. Alright, we're climbing on out at 3,000 feet per minute. Nope, just kidding. We're climbing out at 2,000 feet per minute. Man, this thing climbs like a hog. And we can go ahead and turn off our inertial separator. That will open up the two valves inside of the airplane. Been flying Lakeland, Florida. Awesome. And so let's go ahead and sync up our heading bug. And we're passing through 10,000 feet, so we can go ahead and turn off our landing lights and check our cabin pressurization. We are pressurizing just fine. Everything's looking good. 72 degrees inside the cockpit, which is good. Outside air temperature is 31 degrees Fahrenheit. Oh, minus 30 degrees Fahrenheit. And negative 1 degree Celsius. Do have me a beverage tonight, so hopefully you have a beverage as well. And you can join along. Just a Dr. Pepper, don't worry. So we are on our way direct hauler. Flight time today said it was going to be about 45 minutes down to Miami and to Opelika. So yeah, I had a soda already today. Yeah, I try to drink one or two to myself. I don't know if you guys can quite see it, but it's pretty cool. But if you can look, you can see the reflection of the instruments as you're looking out the window, which is just, that's pretty stinking cool if you ask me. If you ask me, that's what I think. Pretty cool if you ask me. Just getting all the lighting set up here. Everything's looking good. As we're climbing through 14,000 and going up through going up through 18,000 here in just a little bit, so that'll be our next thing to check on. I am always the only one here, it seems like. Yeah, yes you are. Yes you are, and I wish it was the other way around, but it doesn't look like I put out good enough content that everybody wants to watch, so that's the way I look at it. So maybe if my content was better, maybe people would like to stay and watch. But we're climbing through 1,000 or 16,000 feet. Yes, you're always here to support me, and I appreciate that. I can't thank you enough. Can't thank you enough. I believe that's right over there is Orlando, as we're climbing on out here. So do you like general aviation, or do you like airliners? What do you like to see? Let me know in the comments or in the chat, whatever you think. You'd rather see airliner content, or would you guys rather see flying general aviation, flying TBM? The point of this channel was to switch on over to the right tank fuel. But anyway, the point to this channel is that we would showcase what we have built as far as our airplanes and our instruments, and so I believe this is one of our best instruments that we have created for this instrumentation, guys. So I think that I want to showcase that, and that's what this channel is all about. So climbing through 18,000, so there's our standard. Excuse me. Yeah, got plenty of oxygen pressure, and check our cabin temperature or cabin altitude is right about 6,000 with a PSI of about 4.8 right now as we climb and still climb it. So pressurization is working well. Go ahead and we are good on our radar. Should be a clear evening. Always put a smile on my face. Well, I appreciate that. Glad you're here. Glad you're joining. You're my favorite friend. Well, I appreciate that. Thank you very much. Take a look out here at the wings, see what's going on. looks like from the passenger's view. Yes, I am so glad that you show up every stream. It does make it more fun whenever you have someone here to join you and talk to. Yeah, I do have a couple people. I have a guy named Ghost that's sitting right where the screen's at, and actually Ghost is he's all the way up here. He's sitting right there. There's Ghost. Say what's up, guys. Hey guys. That's where you're sitting, Ghost. We're gonna let you do some flying. That's a good one. If you are just watching the views afterwards, watching the video afterwards, if you would, please hit that subscribe button, that like button, hit the notification bell. It does help support the channel, helps the channel grow, does make it appreciative. Well, Ghost, we're climbing out here. We've got about 2,000 to go. Fuel flow, everything's looking good. Got 2 thumbs up. Wow, yeah. I do appreciate that. 1,000 to go. Looks great to you. Well, good. You know what? As long as you're here, I'm here. I'll stream as long as you're sticking around, I'll be here. Alright, so we do need to kind of think about getting down. So we're going to want to set up our... Need to see what altitude we want to be at when we get to Opelika, or when we get close. So let's go ahead and take a look at the weather in Opelika, see what it's got going on. Sky clear and 340 at 0. So we could do 30. Probably be our best one to land at. So we'll probably do that, 340, and try to land on 30 for the visual. And looks like our elevation is 8, so let's say 1,000 feet. So we'll just go on down to 1,500 feet. And there's our level off in our turn. $1,500 feet before we get to 2 mile, we'll say 1 mile before we get to Opelika. Enter, and we will want to VS that down at 1,500 feet per minute and hit enter. And we need to begin our descent in about 20 minutes. So, here's the best streamer I've watched, so please YouTube, give us Plain Sight a trophy. Yeah, I don't think I'm making them enough money to give me anything, so go ahead and set up our cruise here, and we'll start pulling back our power just a little bit here. Burning about 50. I usually try to burn about 55 gallons per hour. That's what I usually plan for. So right now we're burning about 55 gallons per hour, going about 311 knots across the ground. True. Our airspeed's about 195 indicated. And let's go to utilities and go to VNAV. Constraint, there is not one. And we can go back to flight plan and we can put in at Opelika we want to be at 1,500 feet. We'll do MSL 1,500 feet. And let's go back to our profile and we can look at our VNAV, and VS target to hit that would be 1207, so just not quite right. So all right, our true airspeed is 303 knots. So doing all right. I will pass the word so you can get more people. Hey, I'd appreciate that. Thank you. Do appreciate that. You can kind of start to see the lights out there for Miami and all that stuff kind of out there in the distance. You see all that along the coast. It's the coast over there of Florida, so it's pretty cool to see all that. But here we are, just hanging out. Me and Ghost. Everybody else is ghosting us. Haha, did you like that little play on words there, Ghost? Hey Bill, how you doing? Welcome from Brazil. Thanks for checking out the stream. We're taking the TBM out. We are heading on over to Opelika. Yes, make sure you subscribe, Beal. Be much appreciated. As we are heading out to Opelika, we are heading out. We're going to start making some trips down in the Bahamas and take a look out there, see some cool airports and some beautiful scenery, and see what's going on out there. Making our way from doing some island hopping as we get down through there. So if you're in for some island hopping, then stick around. I try to stream every Monday night. we're getting some likes in there. Yeah, appreciate that. Sorry, I was just filming a short here. All right. We are off and heading on down. We're heading on down the state to Opelika. Opelika, home of Steve-01 Knievo. We put out a new video the other day, watched it when I was on vacation, and it was awesome. Guy puts out great content. Love to have his job in the real world. One day I will get there and be a corporate pilot. For right now, I want to continue pressing on and learning and finish up my commercial rating. Too kind, Ghost. You're too kind. I appreciate that love. One day we'll get there. One day. Let's get 10 likes before he lands. Let's do it. How is the sound quality? Is it better now? Well, I appreciate you. You're the one that's taking the time out of your day to come watch the stream, so I do appreciate that. So, flight plan, if I want to be at Opelika instead of 1,000, let's say, instead of 1,500, let's say 1,000. That's what we need for VNAV, so. Well, I appreciate that. So we've got newer, and we've got about 33 nautical miles before we get to newer. And so let's go back to our flight plan. And after that, we've got about 26 nautical miles. So we're going to go ahead and start on down. We're going to set up a VNAV of 735 feet per minute and see what that brings us down at. Actually, we'll start down to head on down to 2,000, and we will arm that, and we will engage our BS. We'll go ahead and flip on our inertial separator, and we will start to pull the throttle back. Get underneath that 200 knots. There's our 200 knots, and we'll go ahead and come out of 850 mode. And we'll start our descent on down. Let's go ahead and give you all those hearts. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. Much, much appreciated. Looks like our altimeter is 3018, so we'll go ahead and get that set up in our barrow. 018. As we head on down, 1,500 feet per minute. And we're going to be looking for a left downwind to 30, and then we will head on over to Atlantic Aviation. And we can go ahead and set our pressurization to 500 feet above airport elevation, which is going to be sea level plus 500, so we'll leave it at that. Got that set, and we are burning on the left tank. And you're doing just fine. Good look at the coast out there. Absolutely. Let's keep it family friendly. I second that. And have fun. Amen to that. Let's do it. So we're descending on down. So I don't know here. You guys tell me. So that's what the virtual cockpit looks like. This is what my cockpit looks like. That's what the virtual looks like. That's what my cockpit looks like. We're trying to get get them to match just like the virtual cockpit. So it does brighten them up a little bit, I've noticed, on my camera compared to what they are inside of my. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Coming on down, passing through level 200. Let's take a look at our utilities. What does VNAV say for this? VNAV says VS target of 1587. So let's highlight this. Let's go down to 1600 and see what that does. See if it catches up. Doing a 1,800 feet per minute. So pulling the throttle back just a little bit, trying to maintain. Looks like I see a plane down there in the bottom of us. Kitty cocktail here, cherries. No, no worries. No worries at all. Got an airplane down there. Looks like he's flying around. As we're descending on down through 17,000, we're going to take another look at our VNAV. Check on that real quick. And looks like we can go ahead and slow our descent rate up to about 1,500. And should be pretty good with that. So, back to our map. Of course, you're always welcome to sit in the co-pilot seat here. Got a circuit breaker out over here. Autopilot disconnect. Else is looking good as we continue our descent on down. Well, I appreciate that. Thank you very much. Try to make good decisions, be a good pilot. We're down through 13,000. We'll go ahead and get our landing lights on. It's a little early for that, but go ahead and turn them on. You crashed into the water yesterday. Yeah, that's alright. Hopefully, obviously you were able to walk away from it, so my instructor always told me a good landing is one that you can walk away from, a great landing is one that you can walk away from and then reuse the airplane. So, looks like we've got Opelika right out in front of us, which is good. Coming through 11,000 feet. Pressurization is starting to depressurize. And our PSI is at 3, and our altitude is saying it's 2,000. So it's saying traffic is out in front of us. It's close to us. Zoom into that. And it looks like one's about 1,100 feet above us, and one is 1,200 feet below us. Let's go out and see if we can take a look and see if we can find them. Don't happen to see him. There goes one. There he is. There they go. We're probably climbing on out. Going through 9,000 feet. Got about 16.8 nautical miles to go. What show did you watch yesterday? Oh, that stinks. I'm sorry. Hopefully, obviously you were able to walk away from it, so it stinks for the pilot's sake. It's pretty good though if you at least you got to walk away from it, and the pilot didn't. So it says something about your strength. Yes, I have seen Full House, and I would have to say probably Jesse. Everybody likes Uncle Jesse. You went in with him? And we did get clearance through the Class Bravo, so we did get that clearance, so we should be good. Airspace alert. Yes, I know. We are inside of the Class Bravo airspace. Oh, I didn't know that. So the guy that plays Joey is a real life pilot. I loved Joey. Flies V12, V-tailed Bonanzas. That's awesome. His last name was Courier or something like that, I believe. Airport right over there off to our left. That was me pulling the throttle back, because I'm going almost to an idle descent rate here. Get us down as fast as we possibly can, and we'll go ahead and disconnect the autopilot. And autopilot is disconnected, and we're going to hand flyer on in. Get ourselves lined up here a little bit. Got the airport in sight, and I've got the runway in sight. Alright, landing lights are all on. Else is good. Alright, field elevation is set. So we haven't put in flaps yet or landing gear just yet. We're going to continue on down. And the runway that you see right there out in front of us, that is the runway we'll be landing on. So we're just going to make a straight in downwind, left downwind. And 1,000 feet to go to get to our 1,000 feet. So we want to be just above 1,000 feet for, or 1,000 feet is our pattern altitude. So Dave Courier flies V12s. His son flies some Air for Airline. Oh, nice. Well, that's cool. All right, Miami right out in front of us. See those big buildings? I don't know if you can quite see that. but we're starting to enter our left downwind here. Continuing our descent down just a little bit here. And we'll go ahead and go. Bring our power back in. Fly our downwind leg here, and we'll go ahead and go flaps 10. Landing gear down. Still got yaw dampener on. We will get that whenever we get closer to final. Go ahead and start our turn inbound. 500 feet to go. Hey, lazy pizza ship, appreciate that. 500, appreciate the subscribe, thank you very much. Here we come, we are coming in for landing. Coming around.
500.
Go ahead and go flaps full. And we'll go yaw dampener off. Landing lights are all on. 3 green on the gear. We are ready to go. We are just a little bit high according to the VASI lights, but that's alright. There's our minimums. Slowly adjusting for that. And here we are. Get into our ground deflect. Flare just a little bit. And touchdown. And we'll go back into the beta. Come on out, and we can make this taxiway right here. Get across the runway. 500 feet means that we are 500 feet above the ground, so just giving you an oral warning, letting you know where you are at in relation to the ground. Alright, we can go ahead and get everything cleaned up, so we'll go flaps up. Flaps are up, and we'll go ahead and turn off our landing lights. Taxi lights can go ahead and come on. And everything else is good. So we'll go ahead and go down here to our taxiway, and we will be taxiing Echo to the ramp, which is this taxiway right out in front of us, right here. So let's go ahead and taxi on. Slick as butter. Thank you, sir. Appreciate that. And we'll go ahead and turn off our flight directors. This is our Echo right here. Taxi on over here to the FBO, to Atlantic Aviation. This is a custom airport that is built. I can't remember who built it or who designed it, but I do have the Opalaka airport, so this is not a generic airport here. And right over here is our signature up there with all the jets, and there is our fuel if we needed fuel, but we are not going to self-serve. We are going to use our boss's money, and we are going to go and have them fill it up for us. So right over here is the end, this FBO, and we will go over here and get our parking. And watch out for this guy on the scooter. Oh, no, little driver. So we'll go right over here to Atlantic Aviation. Go ahead and turn off our taxi lights so we don't blind our... Alright, and welcome to Opelika. So we'll go ahead and set the parking brake. Parking brake is set. And we'll go ahead and turn off our nav and our strobes on, but we'll go ahead and turn off our EFIS. Go ahead and turn off our radio masters. And AP trims can come all off, and our overheads for our RMIs and HSIs. And we can go ahead and turn ignition to off. And boost pump can come off. And we will go ahead and feather for 15 seconds. Alright, and we can move our condition lever to low idle. And fuel cut off. Alright. And we can go ahead and turn our generators off and source off. Welcome back to a cold and dark state. Well, appreciate you guys sticking around. That was a shorter stream. And for everybody that did join, appreciate that. And thanks for the sub. Do appreciate that. And we will be seeing you guys on the next stream. Appreciate it. You guys have a good night.